How to fix Realtek Pcie Gbe family controller error in Valorant. Welcome back to Teknobalta. Today, our engineering team is tackling a catastrophic freezing issue that completely paralyzes modern gaming rigs during Valorant and Fortnite sessions. We have spent days testing this exact hardware conflict in our labs to bring you the ultimate definitive fix. During our initial diagnostics on a newly built system featuring an RTX 5060, we observed severe system locking. Specifically, the game would freeze for 5 to 6 seconds every 10 seconds of gameplay. This massive latency spike rendered competitive matches entirely unplayable. Our first theory pointed toward kernel-level anti-cheat engines like Vanguard. We noticed that uninstalling these security layers temporarily restored system stability on the desktop. However, the moment we launched any title utilizing strict anti-cheat validation, the freezing immediately returned. We proceeded to perform a completely clean operating system installation to rule out software corruption. Even after wiping the drives and installing only the essential motherboard drivers, the relentless stuttering persisted. This confirmed to the Teknobalta team that we were dealing with a deep hardware communication failure. Next, our technicians targeted the memory architecture by adjusting the BIOS settings. We completely disabled all EXPO and XMP overclocking profiles and forced the RAM to run at baseline frequencies. Unfortunately, altering the memory clock speeds provided absolutely zero improvement to the frame pacing. To isolate the graphics delivery pipeline, we utilized Display Driver Uninstaller to aggressively wipe the NVIDIA game-ready drivers. We also disabled the integrated graphics processor directly within the motherboard settings to prevent display conflicts. Despite running a completely clean graphics initialization, the system continued to lock up every few seconds. Suspecting a potential storage bottleneck, we shifted our focus to evaluating the NVMe solid-state drive health. Our lab routinely uses diagnostic software to monitor real-time thermal throttling and sector degradation. We needed to ensure the storage controller was not timing out under heavy gaming loads. We initiated a comprehensive scan using system monitoring tools to verify the mechanical and logical integrity of the primary boot drive. The diagnostic reports came back completely clean, indicating perfect disk health and optimal temperature ranges. This allowed us to confidently eliminate the storage hardware from our suspect list. For absolute certainty, we also ran synthetic benchmark applications to analyze sequential read and write speeds. The NVMe drive maintained a stable transfer rate of over 4,000 megabytes per second, without any sudden bandwidth drops. The storage subsystem was performing flawlessly under maximum stress. We then utilized deep error scanning utilities to check for corrupted logical blocks across all connected partitions. Every single sector passed the validation tests, proving that data retrieval was not the culprit. The Teknobalta team realized the root cause was hiding much deeper within the core system architecture. Realizing this was an invisible component conflict, we opened the Windows Event Viewer to monitor deep system logs during a crash. By navigating directly to the System tab, we caught the exact moment the hardware triggered a fatal interruption. The operating system was silently logging a catastrophic network failure. Our analysis revealed a recurring critical warning stating that the Realtek Pcie Gbe family controller experienced a hardware I/O error. This specific warning was tied directly to the system file operating in the background. The onboard Ethernet controller was effectively bottlenecking the entire processor cycle. Whenever Vanguard or Fortnite initialized their secure network packets, the Realtek Ethernet driver would fail to process the input and output request. This failure caused a system-wide interrupt, freezing the graphics rendering pipeline for several seconds. We finally had our target and moved immediately to patching the component. Our first approach was to update the Realtek Ethernet drivers to their absolute latest factory specifications. While this slightly mitigated the problem by reducing the massive 6-second freezes to minor micro-stutters, it did not cure the system. The Windows Event Viewer continued to log the exact same hardware errors. To execute the permanent fix, we navigated directly to the Windows Device Manager. From there, we expanded the Network Adapters drop-down menu to locate the corrupted Realtek Pcie Gbe family controller. This is where you must perform a highly specific removal process to stop the freezing. We right-clicked the controller and selected the Uninstall Device option from the context menu. It is absolutely critical that you check the box that says Attempt to remove the driver software for this device before confirming. This aggressively deletes the corrupted driver file from the Windows repository. After stripping the corrupted software, we immediately restarted the system to let Windows initialize generic network protocols. We launched Valorant and monitored the frame times during a heavy competitive match. The system performed flawlessly, maintaining high frame rates without a single micro-stutter or hard lock. However, during our extended stress tests, we discovered that Windows Update might attempt to silently reinstall the broken Realtek driver in the background. If the stuttering suddenly returns a few days later, the operating system has likely forced the corrupted update back onto your machine. We have a secondary protocol to prevent this. If the driver forcefully reinstalls itself, return to the Device Manager and locate the Realtek controller again. Instead of uninstalling it, right-click the device and simply select Disable Device from the menu. This completely shuts down the hardware pipeline while preventing Windows from altering its state. By leaving the device disabled, you will need to rely on a secondary Wi-Fi adapter or a dedicated add-on network card for internet connectivity. Our testing confirms that bypassing the faulty onboard Realtek chip entirely is the safest way to guarantee maximum gaming stability. Your system is now fully optimized and ready for flawless competitive gameplay. We hope this deep-dive technical investigation finally cured your system freezing issues. Don't forget to follow Teknobalta for more.